Welcome back, everybody. It's me, Johnny, here with another reaction and analysis video. Kinda not a reaction. I recorded a first-time reaction to Geoff Castellucci's I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas, and my footage got deleted. Something went wrong with it. I'm not sure what happened. OBS was trolling me. But I asked you guys whether you'd want a re-reaction, and most of you said yes, so that's what we're going to go with. So I'm going to go through it a little bit more quickly. I'm going to go through the details a little more quickly because, again, I have seen this before. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're live. Here we go. So I really love that intro. I'm a sucker for the Aeolian cadence, which if you've seen Peter Barber's reactions to this piece, it's what he talked about as well. He takes the minor 6, the minor 7th, and then the root. That's how to end a piece with the Aeolian cadence. Don't end a piece with it or end a phrase with it. So we're in G major. This is G major scale. So if we go up, we're kind of borrowing from the minor key to do the Aeolian cadence, because traditionally going up we have major 6, major 7, and then back to the root. But the Aeolian cadence does that, which lowers the 6th and 7th degree of the scale. So I really like what Geoff does in this intro here, using that, but not resolving it. So listen to this. There's the 6. There's the 7. And he just hangs off of it. Like, there's the space after, and then he continues. So he doesn't resolve it. And I think that's a really cool, enticing way to introduce the piece. Of course, the really heavy, kind of iconic going, brushing that tritone note, crunchy note, very iconic, and he's selling that with like the proper diction, the proper timbre, really nice. I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops glisten. We gotta comment on the visual effects, because we have Christmassy things appearing in the background as the video goes on, so we just got a tree appearing here. And I do want to talk about the vocal execution of this first verse, but let's play through the rest of it for a second.
And children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow, the snow.
So for this first verse, there we go, we have just the soloist doing the melody, and underneath we have kind of like a brush on snare effect, like that's kind of effect going for the percussion, and we have a piano part. So very nice, very laid back, very stripped down musically. And as we get to the end of the phrase, we kind of strip it back a little farther. So we get rid of the brush percussion effect, and then we get rid of the keys too, so we just linger for a second in silence.
To hear sleigh bells in the snow, the snow.
So then we get that little pause before we get dum da 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 dum, and I think that's really nice. It's really nice to listen to. Also, nice outfits here.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days.
So now that we're including a little bit more texture from the background vocals, we can also amp up the the confidence and projection in the lead part, which he is doing here, sing just with a little bit more air, a little bit more power behind it.
Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days, may your days, may your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
You even get a little bit of a curveball there, so he goes. I can't just down to a G1, but he does that. He just down to a G1. Real nice and beefy down there. But he doesn't linger on it like you'd expect. Instead, he goes up to the open fifth partial, and then back up to the G2, like the more comfortable. So he's even kind of like using that to get your attention a little bit more, because you would expect him to just hang on that nice juicy low G, but he doesn't. And I think that's like building into the creativity and doing things that we haven't really done before in Geoff's arrangements, even if it's something as simple as that.
Days, may your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white. Well, I'm dreaming, well, I'm dreaming, the sun is shining, the grass is green, the orange and palm trees sway.
So, he uses I'm dreaming as kind of a post-chorus or a bridge one, if we're thinking in terms of how the layout of a song is usually presented. So he does that line just twice, and it's kind of like, it's not something I've ever heard before with this song. So we are adding a little bit of originality just in that, but then we actually get in a completely original verse. I think it's original. I don't know every version of the song, but when I did first listen to that, I was kind of taken aback because I didn't expect to hear that, and we kind of get like a little bit of original composing, a little bit of original songwriting from Geoff, which we haven't gotten on this channel before, though I would love to see some of that with his amazing vocal ability and arranging ability. But yeah, very nice original composition part there by Geoff.
Well, I'm dreaming, well, I'm dreaming, the sun is shining, the grass is green, the orange and palm trees sway. Ain't never been such a day in Beverly Hills, LA. Come on.
I also really love this part because of the halftime feel. Like, it fits so well with this part that he wrote, and it's just a vibe to listen to, if you will. Let's continue.
In Beverly Hills, LA. Come on. Dreaming.
And he leans so hard into that low G, and we also lean heavier into the halftime feel here. So listen to this.
Never been such a day in Beverly Hills.
So when I say halftime, if you haven't heard me say that before, I mean, if we're in 4, we're counting 4 beats per measure. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, excuse me, you get the idea. If we are in a full halftime feel, we only feel 1, 3, 1, 3. So on this part, you feel the 1 and 3 a lot heavier, but you still feel the 2 and 4.
Come on.
But when we switch to this part, we feel the 1 and 3 so heavy that it almost feels like full halftime. So we barely get anything on 2 and 4 in each measure, which gives the sense that 1 and 3 are the only beats, which is almost like fully into the halftime idea.
Christmas, just like the ones I used to know. Where the treetops glisten and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow.
I love this part, the white sweater Geoff takes here, because he's not singing like super high. We've heard Geoff sing a lot higher, but he does it with such like a gentle breathiness, such a gentle mix to his high range that it like sounds so pretty. It's so pleasing to listen to.
Once I used to know where the treetops glisten.
So if you did that in a full chest voice, where the treetops glisten, you get kind of like a belty tone. If you did it full falsetto, where the treetops glisten, you get like the full breathiness. But he's doing it in such a generous mix of the two. It makes it so nice to listen to.
Used to know where the treetops glisten. Children listen until they hear sleigh bells in the snow. The snow. Well, I'm dreaming of a white. Dreaming of a white. With every Christmas.
Oh, you didn't get a present. I didn't notice that the first time.
Of a white. With every Christmas card. Well, with every card I write.
He found it. These are some nice, very pleasant riffs he has going on here. So it's very trademark of Geoff to have the three background vocalists take over at some point and have the soloist do some kind of counter melody. And he is doing that here. I really like how tastefully he is incorporating these riffs, though.
Dreaming of a white. With every Christmas card. Well, with every card I write. May your days be merry and bright.
So Geoff has a very naturally dark bass timbre. I've talked about timbre probably the most in my reaction to Marwan Nyman's cover of Heat Waves with Eric Holloway, because Marwan has a very bright voice and Eric has a very dark voice, despite the fact that they are both low bass singers. Geoff would fall on the much darker side of that timbre, but he is singing with a lot more brightness in this part. Excuse me. Yeah. He's putting so much air, so much brightness into this part, so it sounds a lot brighter than we're used to hearing from Geoff. And I think it takes a lot of control and self-awareness to be able to do that, especially when you have a naturally very dark voice. So in this high part here, I went too far back.
May your days.
Yeah. May your days. He's singing it with such like forward motion that it gives the effect of being a lot brighter than we're used to hearing from Geoff.
Days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
And it's so pleasing to listen to. So if you compare this to God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, which you covered last year, I love them both, but last year's was a lot darker, so he used his natural dark timbre. But for this one, you have a lot more joyful of a tone to the piece, so it is appropriate to have a little bit more brightness in the timbre of voice and makes it so joyful to listen to. Nice sassy G1 coming up from the depths down there.
Your Christmases be white.
I even love that riff too. It's so subtle, but it adds so much personality.
Your Christmases be white. And may all your Christmases be white.
I love how much he does. Excuse me. He does a very breathy low G1 there. It's the same note. It's the same like almost blatty note that we heard before. I don't mean blatty as in with bad tone. I mean blatty as in like strong and in your face. It's the same note as that, but he's doing it with a lot more breathiness, so it sounds a lot more gentle. I also wanted to comment on the fact that we do resolve the Aeolian cadence from the beginning this time. Why could we go back down to the 6? before resolving. So I really like the way we call back to the beginning part to end of the piece. Very nice. It might be my favorite Geoff cover that he's done in a little while. But yeah, I'm sorry my first time reaction got messed up. But I hope this is sufficient for you guys. Thank you for watching through if you've come this far. Be sure to like and subscribe, and be sure to subscribe to Geoff Castellucci. That's all from me. I'll see you guys in the next one.